Welcome back to TFE, a weekly news podcast in which we give our thoughts, feelings, and emotions on latest gaming, film, tech, streaming news, and other random crap we feel like. I am your host, Dan, and I'm joined with you as always by my co-host, Danny.
Hello, everybody. On this week's episode, we're talking about how Henry Cavill was in DC, and now he's out of DC. He's also out of The Witcher. He's out of all of that. Potential The Last of Us Part 3 and mobile phones. There's some news about them. We haven't spoken about mobile phones for a while.
But this is the last TFE of the year.
And with that intro.
And with this intro. And possibly with this whole format. We'll see.
Yeah, we're going to relaunch in the new year just to keep it fresh. Just to give some new stuff.
Yeah, depending on how much I want to just keep procrastinating, I may make some jingles for not doing my uni work.
And we may have a new logo if I actually can be asked to do it.
Honestly, I think we're just going to have to do Fiverr. That's going to have to be going forward.
No, we just use AI-generated artwork. We just steal from a bunch of people, Dan. It's perfect. We don't have to pay anyone. We can just use an AI-generated artwork to create a logo.
Yeah, that sounds like the best idea you've ever had. Of course that is.
Thank you. Shall we get in?
We should. Let's go into Stream That Movie News Into My Head, where we're going to talk about some trailers. Now, the first trailer is the trailer we've all been waiting for. The Barbie trailer.
Yeah. To be honest, not a bad trailer.
I mean, I still don't care.
Oh, no. I'm interested, but mainly because I like the people who are involved.
What? Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling?
Yeah. And Shimu Lee, who is, what's his name? Shang-Chi.
Oh!
He's in it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the dolls. He does a little dance in the trailer. Bunch of people in this. But yeah, it just gave 2001 A Space Odyssey vibes.
Yeah, it's a weird trailer as well.
Yeah, there was only baby dolls, and now there's grown-up, fucking weirdly sexualized women dolls. And all the children are like, yes, give me it. Which honestly is the case, because like that was a very big trend. But this isn't for us. This is for a different gender.
I'd say even probably different age range as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Barbie still sells, right?
I'm sure you're going to love watching this.
I don't know if I will watch this.
I was going to say,
if I ever get a
no
girlfriend
way.
and I get dragged to it, but yeah.
There's no way you're making me watch this.
I'll watch it on streaming.
Will you? I won't do that.
If it comes out on streaming, I'll probably watch it. But
Did you watch Frozen?
I'm probably not gonna. I watched Frozen I watched Frozen on streaming, and then I watched Frozen 2 in cinema, and then I watched Cats.
Didn't you watch it by yourself as well? Frozen 2.
Yeah.
The most creepiest thing I think I've ever heard you do. Just watch Frozen 2, a grown adult by himself. That sounds so creepy.
Yeah, I also watched Cats alone in a theater as well, so that's...
No, I just more sad. I was like, this
Two
this
people
man's
walked
got
out
nothing...
of the cinema screening when I was watching Cats. And I was almost tempted to follow them.
Oh, yeah. You were like, oh, it's so bad.
Yeah, but I haven't walked out of a cinema screening yet. I nearly walked out of Avatar 2, but that's because I needed to pee.
I walked out of a cinema screen before it started. That counts.
I've walked out because I've been in the wrong screen.
Well, so I walked out...
I've ended up started watching the wrong movie because it was just like... They told me the wrong screen, and then I was just like, why is it taking so long for the movie to start? I timed these pretty well, and then it was just like another screening for a different movie that I'd already seen, and I was just like, oh, well, I've got to step out, walk out to the other room, and then realize, oh, I've missed like 20 minutes of this movie.
Yeah, so I had it once when I was younger. We went to this like child film or something, and that sounded bad to be fair. Film for children.
Uh-huh. What Jeffrey Epstein private cinema was this?
Yeah, we went to watch this film when I was younger, but then we decided to watch Harry Potter and Order of the Phoenix instead.
Which one's that?
Fifth one?
I've not watched it. Ugh. Like I have said, I have only ever watched the first 3 bits and pieces of the 4th one, and then the last one. And now I will never watch them because J.K. Rowling is fucked. And supporting that franchise just gives her money, so fuck her.
Anyway, we've got a lot of things to cover, so let's move on to our next trailer of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, the long-anticipated actual official trailer, which kind of disappointing mainly because it spends about the first minute or so recapping the first movie.
Yeah, it's a bit annoying. I hope the film's not like that.
The visuals are all really good, and the moment where you just see every single Spider-Man ever is cool. And I'm curious as to what the premise of the plot is and all of that, and why 2049 Spider-Man is fighting Miles Morales, and why he's being chased by all the Spider-Men. Also, I watched the exclusive after trailer thing that was a premium member thing. Finally, something that actually I wanted to watch on YouTube Premium. And like I didn't notice, but the new lady who rides a motorcycle is pregnant apparently. And well, there was some other stuff, but I forgot. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this movie.
It's funny
Probably
to
my
me.
most anticipated movie of the year.
Yeah, but it's funny to me. At the end of this trailer, they advertise a PS5.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah, I love that Sony just promotes the PlayStation 5 at the end of all of their trailers for like Spider-Man, because they're just like, even if it's not related to the game, they're just like, yeah, we're gonna promote our PS5. People like Spider-Man, they're gonna buy. Also, the PlayStation 4 or 5, the Spider-Man suit is in the multiverse thing.
Oh right, okay.
That Spider-Man suit is in there, so that Spider-Man exists. People spotted that.
Quite funny.
Yeah.
Going on to a trailer that I do not care about in the slightest. 65.
Yeah, it's about a 65-year-old man who lives his life normally. No, it's actually about Adam Driver is a spaceman, and he goes back in time 65 million years, and it's him versus dinosaurs.
Yeah, I didn't care. I cannot lie.
I thought it looks nice. I don't know if I'll watch it, but just kind of was a movie.
Yeah, the plot
like-
doesn't hit for me at all.
Oh, he's also got a little girl, which will probably annoy the shit out of me. So
Yeah, as we know, you seem to get annoyed at every little girl's on screen.
no, I just get annoyed by small children, which is why I didn't like Avatar, because it's just mostly focuses on the children. Spoilers. It's not a spoiler. It's in the trailers. He has children. Shocking. But yeah, looks interesting. It's produced by Sam Raimi and by the writers of A Quiet Place, which is why it might be interesting, because Sam Raimi's good, and A Quiet Place was a good bunch of movies.
Yeah,
They were well written, so hopefully this is also well written.
so I said maybe, but this trailer just did not hit for me. I don't know what it was. I was so bored watching it, and I just wanted it to be over.
It's quite long as well.
It just
Dan is the TikTok generation, so his attention span
hang
is
on
like
a minute. We're 2 years
2
between
seconds.
us.
Yeah, I'm on the outs. I'm on the border between both generations.
Yeah, so am I. We're both on the border.
No, you're the TikTok generation. You're a 2000s baby. You're a TikTok generation.
No.
Yes,
no.
yes.
I don't use
you're a
TikTok.
Yeah, but you're a TikTok generation. You did. You can't lie.
Yeah, I did. I stopped using it. It's way too addictive.
So you're still the TikTok generation because you use it. I've never used it.
I was down bad, all right? I was down bad.
Mm-hmm. Oh, also apologies. I have a cold.
Yeah, everyone get your pitchforks out and come to his house and get rid of this plague.
I don't have COVID, but I have a cold. So
It's worse. Cold's worse.
Yeah, colds are like gone up significantly because of like everyone being super cautious and wearing masks and having like the diseases, because of all the idiots who don't do it, have had hosts that they could just mutate in, and now everyone's immune systems are weaker. The COVID deniers were right. Jokes, don't demonetize us, even though we don't get monetized.
Yeah, we do not get enough money from this at all, really.
No, support us on that buy me a coffee thing that I added to our
Yes,
intro.
because we get enough listens each week to,
Justify this.
justify that, yeah.
Yeah, and then the last trailer was Scream 6. The only reason I put this in there was because I wanted to give Jenna Ortega some more publicity.
Yeah, and this is
Not that she
definitely
needs it.
a trailer that's meant for TikTok.
Yes, because it's a minute long and it's mostly just clip, and then it's like, yes. Also, Jenna Ortega's in it, so it's going to get clicks.
Yeah.
I have never watched any of the Scream movies, so I only put this in because I was like, oh, Jenna Ortega's in it, and apparently she's in the last one that came out this year, so yeah, that's why.
Excellent. Let's move on. And we're going to talk about Henry
I need
Cavill.
to move this one. Nah.
Okay,
Do the
well,
Disney.
We won't talk about Henry Cavill. That's teaser for later, right? Donald Glover is to star and produce in a Spider-Man movie based on the villain Hypno Hustler. That was hard to say.
Yes. Well done. I'm proud of you. You did it. Once again, Sony making movies without Spider-Man based on villains that no one cares about and will fail miserably. But this is probably maybe the last member of the Sinister Six movie for the movie that they want to make.
Was it Hypno Hustler, Venom,
Morbius,
Vulture, Madam Web,
and that El Muerte.
El Muerte.
the
I will
Bad
Craven
Bunny
Hunter
one.
as well.
Oh yeah, and Craven. So
Maybe not
I don't think
Venom.
Madam Web's not a villain.
Was you not?
No, she's just a being who, through time, and probably will be in Spider-Verse. So, Yeah, so we probably just got Venom. Venom might be Venom might be the Spider-Man that goes up against him. So you never know. It could be fucking Venom versus the Sinister Six. And then maybe you get like a Elseworlds Spider-Man that's new so that Sony can keep them without being part of the MCU. Who knows?
It's a mess. It's so funny to me how they just keep trying to do Sinister Six and it just never happens.
They've been trying for ages. They've been trying since Amazing Spider-Man 2.
They've been trying before that, right? That's Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, they've been trying for ages because like Spider-Man 3, they wanted more villains. Sam Raimi never wanted to put Venom in Spider-Man 3. Sony forced him to do it, so that's why he killed him off, literally like exploded him so that there was no way that they could bring him back if they did do Spider-Man 4.
Yeah.
Sony just has a villain because I get it, because Spider-Man's most interesting thing is his rogues gallery. It's the same with like Batman.
It is true.
It's the rogues gallery, but you need Spider-Man there to be an antagonist against them, to be the beacon of good. You can't just have the villains, because then you have to make them anti-heroes, and then no one gives a shit because no one likes anti-heroes because they're not that interesting.
I don't understand.
As the Black Adam movie proved.
I don't understand why you have to make them all anti-heroes. Why can't you just have it surrounding the antagonists?
Because Sony would then have to get Spider-Man from Marvel. Marvel's not going to let Sony do that, and Sony wants to do it, so they're going to just
you don't need to have a hero. You just have the antagonists be themselves.
Yeah, but the whole reason you do it is because you have Spider-Man.
Yeah, I know.
But they're not doing it because they're Spider-Man. No, I don't ask.
My
why
argument
Sony
is just
does it.
why are you trying to make all these villains anti-heroes? Just keep them as villains and just
because Joker made $1 billion.
But Joker wasn't an anti-hero, just a plain villain.
Yes, he was, Dan. He is the public anti-hero. He's the symbol for peace. He's against society.
No, he's just a villain, and it works so much better just being a villain.
Yeah, but he wasn't. He was the downtrodden. He was.
He was not an anti.
In that movie, he was, because he was downtrodden. Everyone was against him. The whole movie is literally just people beating the shit out of him for no reason. He is depicted as an anti-hero in that movie because he builds up everyone. He's not a villain. He is meant to be sympathetic. He is an anti-hero in that movie. That's why I don't like that movie.
I was just a villain.
He's not, though, because his goals make no sense.
Just because bad things happen to him doesn't make him an anti-hero.
Yeah, but no, because
and
you're
because
meant to
everyone else is psychotic around them doesn't make him an anti-hero. He didn't do anything good. He didn't stop anything good. He just killed a man on TV. That was the ending of that film.
That's the only thing he does that's bad. Like, that's not justified.
None of it's justified. He's just a nutcase.
Yeah, but he's not. He is, but he isn't.
Name one heroic thing he does.
They built him up. That I hate that movie. Well, I don't hate it. The only thing I like about that movie is the fridge scene where he gets in a fridge. It's just dumb. I just love that bit. I'm just like, why the fuck did he get in that fridge? I think it's because he was overheating and he needed to cool down.
Yeah, maybe.
Because he was very sweaty. So, but yeah, let's not fucking keep talking about this because fuck it.
There's too much of the news. Little Mermaid,
Sony does
Iron Man,
stupid shit.
Little Mermaid and Iron Man have been added to the National Film Registry.
Yeah.
Don't know what that means.
It's just an archive of like famous like works of movies and shit. But yeah, films have been absolutely essential to American culture by helping tell a national story for more than 125 years. We are proud to add 25 more films by the group of vibrant and diverse filmmakers to the National Film Registry as we preserve our cinematic heritage. It's basically just preservation of movies. Unlike what Warner Brothers doing, where they're just taking stuff off and then deleting the files.
It's considered to now be a classic film, I suppose.
Yeah, it's pop culturally relevant.
Who would have thought? It's the start of the biggest franchise ever.
Yeah. No, Avatar 1 is the start of the biggest franchise ever.
Everyone loves the Avatar franchise, and it definitely won't be the third one. Will probably flop.
Well, this one needs to make a lot of money to be financially successful.
It probably will.
It will. Well, yeah.
It's the same as the first Star Wars, or the sequels, whatever it's called.
Force Awakens?
Yeah, that one did really well. Not because it was a good film, just because
it released in December.
It was released
where there's
in December,
no competition.
And it was a franchise that hasn't come out for a very long time.
Yeah.
For like 10 years.
But people loved Star Wars. I don't think anyone loved Avatar. We'll see. We'll see.
No.
I am curious to see what the drop-off for Avatar is.
Let's go over to Warner Brothers. And, of course, it's been a big shake-up with James Gunn announced. We announced last week that some of the DC projects have been cancelled. And Wonder Woman 3 is next on the list.
Yep. And there was some... I think there was some controversy about why Patty Jenkins got fired from it. She basically put in a statement that she wanted to do it, before, because she was doing Rogue Squadron,
Yeah.
right, for Star Wars, and then she left Rogue Squadron because she wanted to do Wonder Woman 3, and she didn't want to delay it any longer, and she just wanted to do it. So then she went to Lucasfilm, and Lucasfilm went, look, if you can still come back after Wonder Woman 3, if you want. And so then, but yeah, and then she's basically realized, well, she's been told that, yeah, they're moving away from those characters.
Yeah. So,
Which,
you know, the cat lady you never see again from Wonder Woman 2.
What, Cheetah?
Yeah.
And Pedro Pascal.
I still haven't seen that film. I might watch it this couple weeks.
It was bad.
Yeah, I heard. I have heard. But I think I need to watch it just to know how bad it is.
Yeah. Well, we did a review on it with you not seeing it, I think.
I know, it's great. You can do it. There's a way of doing it to justify it.
Maybe we need to do Black Panther 2 and Avatar 2.
Okay, but I do care about Black Panther spoilers. I didn't care about Wonder Woman 3 spoilers. And
Black Panther's in it.
yeah, thank you. The next big thing axed was Henry Cavill from Superman.
Yes.
Just after he came back from Black Adam.
After The Rock dragged him back into the media spotlight to don his costume, so that The Rock... apparently there's a rumor going around that The Rock did it so that he'd have a leveraging chip against DC, because he brought back Superman.
Ah, right. And then James Gunn's just gone, I don't care, I'm doing my own thing.
Yeah, which also means Black Adam 2 is probably dead in the water, so...
Yeah, it seems James Gunn just wants to start again, a new slate, wants to have a new Superman, he wants to have a new story when Superman is younger.
But yeah, I think basically what's happened is, because Henry Cavill was brought back before James Gunn and Peter Safran got hired, because The Rock was trying to get it. So they basically filmed that to just basically solidify Henry Cavill. And then during that time, James Gunn and Peter Safran have been hired, and then, like, Henry Cavill was basically told, oh yeah, you're probably going to be doing a lot more stuff. So he left The Witcher for Superman, or because he didn't like working on The Witcher anymore. Still unclear.
Yeah, it seemed he had a bit of problem with creative differences because he wanted everything to be...
Although they have come out and refuted that, so I don't know. But I imagine Henry Cavill's probably more believable.
Yeah. I mean, Henry Cavill's a massive nerd.
He's had a rough time because he's now out of Superman. But in good news, he loves Warhammer 40k, and Amazon has picked up a series, and Henry Cavill is going to be in it. So he gets to work on something he loves.
He is a massive nerd, isn't he? He really is.
Yeah, which is good, because he's like the thing that all nerds aspire to be.
But he doesn't look like he should be a nerd.
No, but that's he's changing the definition of what a nerd looks like.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got confirmation that James Gunn is writing the next Superman movie, and it's going to be early days Superman, so Henry Cavill is out. But they have said that Henry Cavill could do another role in the DCU.
Yeah, it seems to be that way.
Also, the same thing was along the lines of Jason Momoa might play Lobo instead of Aquaman.
That's going to be so weird. Well, to be fair, it happened to Chris Evans, so...
Yeah, but that was two different universes. I guess this is two different universes. Also, Lobo is covered in, like, white makeup and whatnot, so you can just have him look completely different than Aquaman.
Yes, I think this is what James Gunn likes to do. He likes to take sort of the more side characters and then make them more relevant. That's what he did with Guardians in a way that was Suicide Squad, although it was more important.
Oh yeah, I think James Gunn is going to be good, but the amount of vitriol that the DC Zack Snyder fans have been spitting on Twitter.
Yeah, and then James Gunn just like, I don't care. I'm doing
I don't care. I'm not going to be able to please you all. I'm doing it for the service of the story. You wanted a cohesive universe. I'm giving you one, probably.
Yeah. It seems like he actually is going to...
Oh, also, he shot down the rumor that the Batman was going to be part of this universe.
And it's not, right?
No.
But is he going to keep it there?
I think he's going to keep that. I think he's smart enough to know that the Batman is a profitable property that he doesn't need to incorporate. He might just be doing, like, Elseworld stuff. Because I think he's versed enough to know that what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah, and he's known that this Zack Snyder stuff as before has been an absolute mess.
Yeah, it's 10 years of just mishmashed storylines that don't connect and then some good stuff, some bad stuff. I think the only good... But the thing is, it just leaves... Because there's Shazam 2 still coming out. There's Blue Beetle, which probably is self-contained, so they could probably just switch universes.
And The Flash. Maybe The Flash is
Shazam 2...
going to end everything. That's the ending of it.
I don't think we're going to get the Flash movie.
No, yeah, they have to. They have to release it. It
I
just
don't
costs
know.
too much money.
Yeah, but just tax.
Warner
write-off.
Brothers will just say, no, you have to release this. It was too much money.
Just release it on HBO Max and then take it off like they're doing with everything else.
So true. Because I think it's been... Oh, yeah, random movie news on here. Westworld has been removed from HBO Max.
Yes, which they just released the last season or whatever, and now they've removed it.
Yeah, they removed it like straight away. And everyone's like, what? How are they...
I don't get what they're doing.
No, I don't get it either, really.
But yeah, also I love the post was just, for some reason, Westworld removed from HBO Max. The headline of the article was just, for some reason. No one knows the reason, it was just removed for some reason.
Yeah.
Tax write-off? Who knows? Warner Brothers is just an odd place at the moment. Who knows?
Yeah, and let's talk about some other random news. Oh, talk about acting. Blockbuster's been cancelled by Netflix after one season.
Yep, I watched it. It was fine.
No surprise it was cancelled though, right?
No, not at all. It ended... What did it end on? Also, it's Blockbuster, so it's very fitting that it got cancelled.
Yeah, that's very...
Yeah. I can't even remember how it ends. I think it sets up another season. But yeah, I'm not surprised. It wasn't that great. I like the cast. The cast was good, but like the story was shit. It was trying to be funny when it really wasn't funny.
Yeah, it's a shame really, but oh well.
Like you could tell where they're trying to put like current jokes, and current jokes date really quickly. It was fine.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Also, Netflix has cancelled The Warrior Nun, its highest audience scored series ever.
Yeah.
Also, people are suspecting that it's because that I don't know how true this narrative is, but apparently Netflix is canceling a lot of has never given a lesbian-led or like LGBTQ series more than 2 seasons.
Really?
Which led, not with characters in it, but with the stars being the main.
I was gonna say I can't really think of any.
Because the Umbrella Academy is probably the one that I'd go. That has more than but that's only just recently changed.
Well, technically she's not a lesbian anymore.
No, they.
No, he.
Yeah. Elliot Page.
Yeah.
We should just say the name, not the fucking pronouns.
It's so difficult to remember who's.
Look, I'm not against pronouns, but like, just give dumb people time.
Yeah, just give us leeway. We're trying to make an effort.
I'm not someone who's angry about it. Like I will say it if I remember it.
I only get angry when people tell me I need to have like the new ones that is like you gotta say cisgendered male.
Zem and Zor.
No, when like your gender's like you should say you're a cisgendered male, and I'm like, no, I'm not changing that.
No, I'm not. I'm just male.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say what I am.
Look, it's all complicated. There's too many, and there's too many bigots. So
yeah.
But yeah, it was just a weird thing that I was seeing, that people were like, Netflix has never kept a show that has 2 like females or 2 gay characters. How many seasons has Sex Education had?
3.
Is the main guy gay or is he straight?
It depends who your class is the main. If you only say it was only one guy is the main cast,
right? Then
he's straight. But there's also Eric in there as well, who's his best friend. He's gay.
Okay. Not watch Sex Education. Apparently it's good, but it just doesn't interest me.
I would say, yeah, I like Sex Education. It's good.
And then we have Invincible news. The news is that there will be news next year.
It's so useful. Apparently this is the last month. We'll have to wait for no news.
Yeah, basically everyone... It's like when Sony was doing the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. Like, everyone was just constantly hounding the one guy who probably runs the Twitter account on Sony.
Yeah.
For the trailer, like, every time they posted something. And it was just like, there's no updates. I don't know. They haven't given it to me yet. And so I imagine the Invincible team was under the same thing. Probably most things, like people just demand things and can't be patient and wait for news. They have to have it right now. And but yeah, we're getting news in the new year. Probably a trailer. But yeah, I mean, I loved Invincible. It was a good show. Can't wait for season 2. It will satiate my bloodlust until The Boys or Gen V comes out.
Yeah, and then carrying on some animation news. Pokemon's anime next series ditches Ash and Pikachu for 2 new protagonists.
Yeah, the woke mob has ruined Pokemon because they're replacing him with a girl. Ugh. Ugh.
Okay, is that no? Okay, it is technically more of a. Actually, no. Is that a replacement or is that just coincidence?
No, they've had Ash Ketchum for 25 years, and they're basically gone, oh, he's won a tournament now. He's the top dog in the Pokemon universe. They're moving on.
Oh no, I was talking about this. There's just a tweet of this new girl having like a hairpin that's like the same logo and Ash Ketchum's head.
Oh, probably. Ash Ketchum's had a different hat logo for every season, so...
Oh, yeah, so
But
yeah.
yeah.
So, I mean, there's a difference. Well, what's the guy saying? He's a prick.
Yeah, Ash Ketchum's had a different thing every season, so... Because then you can sell more merchandise. It's always the way. But
I
it's
still
gonna...
hate Pokemon, you know. I just can't stand it. It just pisses me
Yeah.
off. It's the same as your Rick and Morty. It just pisses me off.
True, but I think Pokemon's for kids and Rick and Morty is for dumbasses. So...
No, Rick and Morty are people...
Which is also for kids.
Yeah, Rick and Morty is for people who want to see the world burn.
Sure. I think Rick and Morty is for people who think they're smart to go, look how smart I am, when they're not smart at all. Because I understand basic understandings of complicated science. That's my understanding of Rick and Morty, and that's my judgment of the audience. Because the amount of people who are like, I'm super smart for understanding Rick and Morty is annoying.
Yeah, because I know you hate it for like the Szechuan sauce or something.
No, I hate it because of the animation style. I don't like that animation style.
But what about Solar Opposites?
Also, it just looks gross. I don't like gross shit. And that animation style just looks gross to me. It's the same with, what's that shitty, Big Mouth?
Okay, no, but
That disgusting animation style.
and then, yeah, a final bit of movie news is Rings of Power. Well, you know what I mean, streaming news as well. Rings of Power Season 2, all-female directing team, and episode count announced.
They're gonna ruin it because there's women now. Ugh.
I swear the Rings of Power already kind of sucked, and it might make it better.
It was fine. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was just like, people were complaining that the main lead was a woman, and there were black elves, and it was all annoying nonsense that doesn't matter as long as the storytelling was good, and I thought the storytelling was alright.
Was
and
it
look,
better
hey, look.
than Hobbit?
Yes.
That's good, then.
I didn't fall asleep during any of the episodes. So, yeah. It's better than The Hobbit. It's not as good as the original trilogy. It's sat in the middle. It's got potential to be good and better. But yeah, it fell short in a couple areas. It was good in some areas. But yeah, ultimately it was just a decent show. Still amazed that it's the most expensive show in the world, but hey, look, what are you going to do?
Yeah, definitely did not
But
justify that money.
I imagine a lot of people are going to be complaining that season 2 is way too woke because all women, no men will work on that show. Forgetting that.
Well, imagine the
mostly-
cast members would be right.
Yeah, and the production crew and all of that, and probably the writing staff and all of that. It's just that the women are directing.
Isn't it just? Yeah, it's just a directing team, right?
It's just the directors. It's
not that deep.
People don't have brain cells when it comes to that sort of stuff. And speaking of no brain cells, Dan, let's get into some NFT news.
Oh, we do have a
Been
bit
a
of
while. But to round out the year, Donald Trump gave us the best fucking gift ever. He gave NFTs, where he is basically ripping off Superman. And all other nonsense of pictures that look horrible.
Yeah, so is this like a trading cards game or something?
Yeah, it's NFT trading cards. It's what NFTs are. It's just digital trading. But you can win the opportunity to have a meal with Donald Trump.
It's so weird. Trump is a nutcase.
Have you watched the video? Watch the video. It's truly...
The video's not loading.
Oh. Watch it after. But it is truly weird and shit, and he self-deprecates himself, and it doesn't work. But yeah, his pronunciation, can't speak. Hey, look, Donald Trump, we have something in common. We can't pronounce words. But yeah, what a time to drop NFTs when the whole world is like, NFT sucks shit and crypto is dying. Donald Trump claws. Also,
time.
apparently he was like, this was meant to be a big announcement. And like everyone was like, oh my God, who's his running mate or whatever for the 2024 elections or whatever. And it was just like, no, it's NFTs. I'm doing NFTs several months late to the hype of NFTs. But yeah,
I love it.
what a way to end the year, eh?
What a way.
You could
What a way.
spend $99 on an NFT to win a chance to meet up with Donald Trump or do a Zoom call.
let's go on to the gaming news of we lost the controller of the news. And Returnal on PC recommends a whole 32 gigabytes of RAM just to specify, what generation we live in.
Yeah, I assume that's a lot.
Yes, it is. Most games recommend 16.
Yeah.
This is a minimum of 16, which is incredible.
Yeah.
This just really amplifies the need of, I need a new computer now. I am literally, you need what graphics card do you have?
9060?
960, right?
I have a 960 and then a 1060 on my laptop.
Yeah, but laptops don't count anyway. But 960, yeah, you're like a generation behind me.
I can't run Minecraft, so that's just how bad my computer is.
Yeah, that's to do with your CPU, but yeah.
I need a new PC, but I can't afford one.
Well, luckily, we can get this as a business account and get discount off maybe, I don't know.
Or we could ask our lovely audience to give us coffee money and then we buy a PC.
I really want to see if I can claim back business expenses for buying a PC.
Look, we're not going into financial fucking things on this podcast, Dallas. But yeah, we're getting to weird levels of graphic capabilities that require a lot of shit, so...
Yeah, 32 gigabyte of RAM is a lot,
Also, it runs on a PlayStation 5, so I wonder what the graphical upgrade is.
Yeah, the weird thing also is it recommends 32 gigabytes of RAM, but it's not using a particularly recent processor. And it's normally the RAM helps feed the processor, right? Like
yes,
it's usually
PC talk.
A lot of stuff wait in the RAM for the processor to catch up. So it's why in AMD PCs need quite fast RAM because it just uses a lot of it. So I don't know. Maybe you won't need that much RAM if you have a better processor.
Maybe it's mining crypto.
Maybe.
And then Epic is now doing basically a Warner Brothers and just removing stuff off its platform. It's removed 20 plus titles, including Unreal Tournament series. So yeah, if you wanted to play those games, sucks to be you.
I was going to say, I don't think I've played any of these games. These just
they're probably... But someone... Like, Unreal Tournament's pretty popular with people, and I imagine that sucks. I think they're bringing one of them back and, like, updating it. But it just goes to show you that nothing is safe. Buy everything physical. The whole digital world is going to collapse.
Yeah, sounds about right, to be fair. But I don't buy games anyway, so... Only thing I buy is Destiny 2 DLC.
I buy everything full price.
Have you bought the new DLC of Destiny?
No.
Are you going to?
I'll buy it. I don't have money to buy it, so I'll buy it when I have money.
That's right, you got no counter tax next 2 months, right?
What?
Isn't there no counter tax next 2 months?
I have no idea. I don't follow this, so I just pay my money and deal with it. I don't have to pay my money, then fucking sweet.
Okay. Normally, people don't pay counter tax in January, February.
Okay, but it probably gets added on to the next couple months.
Well, I think most people pay it over 10 months, so 12.
Yeah, probably.
So it makes a difference that way. But
I have no idea. I need to look into it.
Yeah, you probably should. These are things you should know when you live alone.
What I do know, Dan, is Crystal Dynamics' next Tomb Raider game will be published by Amazon, not Square Enix.
Wait, oh yeah, of course. Yeah, because Square Enix is more of a publisher, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
okay, that's interesting.
Off, which means it might go onto the Prime Gaming thing for free.
Yeah, don't be stupid.
No. But it will go to PlayStation and stuff. But we don't know if it's a continuation of the trilogy of games yet, or if it's a new Tomb Raider.
Well, it's still Crystal Dynamics. I mean, they've all been Crystal Dynamics.
But they've all been, I think they've mostly all been... I don't think it's all been Crystal Dynamics. I think there have been other studios doing Tomb Raider. I think Tomb Raider just has the license at the moment.
Okay, no, I think Crystal Dynamics already started working on the next Tomb Raider. But then...
Yeah,
Amazon
then it will happen.
Right?
Yeah, but it's whether or not Amazon wants it to be a new thing now.
I think it's still going to be the same one.
I think it will be a continuation of the...
Yeah, it's continuing on from the story.
Yeah, I hope it is, because I like that series. The third game was alright, the second one was really good, and the first one was really good, so...
Oh, no, okay. Here we go, some details of it.
Mm-hmm.
So supposedly the last
maybe we should start doing that, adding details to the news.
The last mainline entry in the action adventure series was Shadow of the Tomb Raider back in 2018, which brought an end to the reboot of the era of Lara Croft's adventures, and Crystal Dynamics have been cagey about what's next. Other than the new title will bring together the timelines of her recent reboot escapades and her earlier adventures. Yeah,
so it's unclear whether or not it's just a new one, but it's her at the start.
It's going to be a multi-timeline.
This whole thing was the start of her. Basically, this whole trilogy was just her getting to the point where she was the Tomb Raider.
Right.
Whereas this one will probably just be either a new Tomb Raider who is already at that point in her career, or it'll be a continuation of those where she is at that and is the Tomb Raider. Is essentially what it is. It'll be a reboot where she is the Tomb Raider already, and there's no origin story, or it will be a continuation of that original trilogy.
Yeah, because I don't think there's another origin story.
No. We know by now who Tomb Raider is. We had 3 movies already.
That's true.
Also, that got canned.
Everything is cancelled. And it's something people may not have expected, but the Tesla Model X and Model S have got now getting the full Steam integration.
Yeah. So now when you're crashing your Tesla into children on the road, you can be playing Cyberpunk 2077.
It's so bizarre. Why?
But Elon Musk is big gamer. Don't you remember, Dan? Even though he didn't know about the Epic versus Apple lawsuit, which clearly stated that Apple takes 30%. Oh, fuck. I forgot to... we'll get to it, because we have Elon Musk news. I'll add it.
Yeah, so is it like an actual PlayStation's inside it? Because they're using...
No, it's just it's just using the current, because the GPUs and everything in them are quite powerful.
Well, why is there a GPU in there?
Because Elon Musk wants Teslas to be things.
You don't need a dedicated GPU in there, surely.
I don't know if it has a GPU. I'm just saying it has a GPU.
No, it would. If it's now got gaming, if you can do games on there, there'll be a dedicated GPU.
Yeah.
Especially for
you can run them. You can do stuff without GPUs, can't you? You can just use CPUs. You just have
if it has
really
integrated
powerful
graphics, yeah.
Yeah. But you can have software too. You can use cloud synchronization to pick up where you left off on other devices, meaning there's over 6,000 games compatible. So it's basically using streaming, I guess.
Okay, that makes more sense. I think it's the same as the Steam Deck.
Yeah, essentially. As well as users browsing the Steam library via touchscreen. Other details suggesting that the games that verified via Steam Deck will work on Tesla. While previously you were able to play these games while actively driving the car, last year Tesla nixed the feature while cars are in motion. Shocking.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Jesus Christ, I didn't realize that.
I feel like that's just the whole of Elon Musk's companies. Just everything's an afterthought.
Ignoring safety problems and then realizing why those safety problems exist and then claiming that he invented those safety problems. Like parameters.
It is crazy. It is crazy. So let's go on to the actual big companies.
I predicted this one.
Oh, well,
I said
Microsoft.
Yeah, I predicted Microsoft would offer Call of Duty on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, and I imagine Sony's still going, no.
Because they still take 70% of all profits, but now they don't get the profits of the actual title of the game.
Yeah, they're just making less money. Like, what? Yeah. Because if you play Call of Duty, you need PS Plus anyway.
Yes.
Or to put anything other than
well, no, because I think they have made it so that if it's like Warzone or it's a free-to-play version, because all they'd have to do is just make it free-to-play.
I know Destiny is not.
Really? I think most games that are free-to-play...
No,
I think maybe because Destiny was... I don't know. But I think at least Xbox does it, where a free-to-play game doesn't require like the service for multiplayer to be paid.
It would be nice, but I'm pretty sure it's not.
I don't know if Sony does it. I think Fortnite is on PlayStation. You don't need PlayStation Plus to do it.
I've got PS Plus, but when I tried to do Destiny, I couldn't do it without PS Plus.
But did you do? Was that when you'd bought it already?
That was when I bought my PS5.
Yeah, but you'd already bought the game, right?
Yes.
So maybe it's because you already bought the game.
Who knows?
But yeah, I think at least Xbox you don't need for free games. But I'm sure PlayStation has some games like that.
Anyway, back to Call of Duty.
I think this is just Microsoft going, look, we're trying to look like the underdogs, and we're being the nice people. We're not going to ditch PlayStation as soon as these 10 years and we've made all our money back.
Yeah. I think it won't go ahead. I actually don't think it will. So now that these other companies have done something, unless they can work out a deal with Sony for Call of Duty that doesn't have a time limit.
Oh, what, Infinite? But they could just stop the Call of Duty franchise and just name it something else, and then there's no...
Well, it'd have to be that Microsoft make no profits from Call of Duty on PlayStation, but they have to offer it to PlayStation.
Yeah.
That would have to be the deal.
I don't think they'd ever do that, though.
Well, I think
because the whole reason Microsoft is doing this is because they know what's going to come, where that 30% split is dropped down to like 10. Because even like Apple is like allowing sideloading apps, and all you have to do is just like, even if that 30% cut is there, all the law needs to do is change it so that you can have sideloading purchases. And then Microsoft just makes it so it's easier to purchase, or like does what Epic did at the beginning, where they're like the 30% cut tax on purchases. So they just drop everything down to what it was without the Apple cut. And then Apple makes no money off it. That's why Apple was pissed. Like, there's so many ways for Microsoft to make money in the future because of the crackdowns on big tech companies taking massive profits from these like developers and stuff. I get why people want Call of Duty on Xbox and Microsoft to be owned, like Activision to be owned by Microsoft, but ultimately in the long run it's probably not good for the industry.
I feel like we need a weekly new series of just you complaining about this acquisition.
Oh, until it's cancelled and they're not allowed, then it's going to continue. But whilst we're seeing two titans fight for like a lot of shit, we're going to have to keep covering. I might make a segment and then we just save it up and then I just have a rant for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, and I can just go get a coffee while you're ranting if that's a good idea.
Maybe next year.
That's a new format.
And then in rumor news, rumors of The Last of Us Part 3 being in development, just because like they're hiring. It'll be the next game because after they've done their multiplayer thing for Last of Us 2, like their separate multiplayer factions game or whatever it is, which people seem to enjoy, but I played it like once and it was kind of shit, so I don't know. In the original game.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But it's just like Sony probably requires them to have like a multiplayer aspect that's free to play so that they can make money. Because that's how you make your money, is free to play cosmetics.
This, to be fair, it makes so much money from that.
Well, yeah, because it gets everyone in, and then only the rich people pay for it.
Yeah, there's a lot of videos on sort of how these free-to gets make so much money.
Yeah,
and a lot of them everyone. The pay-to-win ones are the most scummy ones.
Well, free-to-play is the most easily accessible thing because everyone can play it.
Yeah.
There's no entry level. It's just what you want to pay afterwards. Whereas if you're committing 60 quid to a game or 70 quid now or whatever it is, you're gonna be a bit stingy with your money afterwards.
I don't know if it applies to games like Rocket League, but I know a lot of mobile games, when you make a purchase, you'll get easier matchmaking next few games.
There are hundreds of like internal systems for like games where for like Call of Duty, if you're losing a bunch, it will then make it so that they start promoting like weapon mods and stuff to make your like guns better or like skins and shit. So like if you see like someone wearing a skin and you're like ooh it will then start promoting that skin stuff in the game, or like there's loads of internal systems that they use.
They're all scams basically.
Well, not even that. It's just like stuff designed to like get you to purchase stuff. It's not a scam. It's just manipulation.
I sort of respect Destiny in a way. Even though it's free to play, it feels less like a free to play game. Like yes, you still have your different skins and stuff. But
well. We say free to play. I paid for it at the beginning twice.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Because you still pay for the DLCs and the season pass. It's not just cosmetics; you get a storyline with it as well. So it doesn't feel quite the same.
Yeah,
although
like Fortnite, you get a storyline. So
do you?
But you don't have to pay. Yeah, there's the world building in Fortnite where you have like that giant
the actual campaign.
Yeah, no, not even the campaign. The actual game.
Oh, is there something else now? I don't know. I don't
there's like because it's all the world event things that happen. There's like subtle storytelling that happens throughout the updates and stuff like that. Fortnite does have a story.
Let's move on.
Well, you don't want to talk about Fortnite?
I don't care. Did we talk about Last of Us 3?
Yes.
Okay, my mind just forgot about that part.
We can go from multiplayer to more multiplayer because Horizon is going to get a multiplayer game. It'll be like Monster Hunter. Yeah, we've talked about The Last of Us. Last of Us Part 3.
Last of Us is also getting a multiplayer.
Yeah, it's already getting a multiplayer game.
I thought that's
because this is what they're working.
And I was like, oh, you're talking about Horizon getting a multiplayer, and I was like, oh right, yeah.
No, because we've already spoken about that. Because basically, what Naughty Dog are working on currently is the Last of Us Part 2's multiplayer game, Factions or whatever it is, that's coming out next year, I think. And then that's led people to also believe that Naughty Dog's working on The Last of Us Part 3 because some sort of script is already maybe in development. So people are like, ooh, Last of Us Part 3. And then now we're moving on to Horizon, which is another Sony exclusive thing, which is also getting a multiplayer thing. Similar to probably Monster Hunter because it's you taking down giant robot monsters with your friends, probably. That or it's just like an exploration game. Who knows? Could be sick. It's going to be made by Guerrilla again. That's the next game they're making. That VR game looks pretty cool. I am very tempted to buy a PlayStation VR headset with that game.
I thought you had no
But I
money.
can't afford it. I don't have money. I keep looking at it and go, oh, that sucks.
Yeah, that's what me look at my gaming computer and like, oh, that's so much money.
Oh yeah, I'll never buy a PC because I need to keep paying for PlayStation stuff. So, and I at least know my PlayStation 5 works and I can play games on it. Whereas if I buy a PC parts, I have to spend a lot of money and then it might not even work.
All right, let's go on to everyone loves or loathes the obvious numbskull Elon. Well, Elon Musk has now starts banning critical journalists from Twitter and then didn't.
Yes. Basically, this story is so stupid. Basically, there's an account on Twitter called ElonJet, which just posts the flight data of where Elon Musk's private jet is using publicly available data to see how much he flies. And he flies a lot. For a man who's super eco-friendly, he flies a lot on a private jet that are terrible for the environment.
He should be flying economy, same as the rest of us.
Yeah, he can also tell jokes to the public in those seats. And then, so basically, I think he banned the account. Okay, the timeline of this is really weird. So I think he banned the account because someone was following... I think he banned it, and then it turned out that someone was following his kid's car, like his young kids and his
That's a
mum.
bit creepy.
Yeah, but I don't think that had anything to do, because people have basically found out that this is so weird. So I think there was no airport nearby that was also, if it's following Elon Musk's private jet and he's on it, why would his kid? So I guess it's maybe his kid was on it, but he basically had some guy follow him, said doxing is bad on Twitter, but then doxed the guy who was doing it, so it's okay for him to dox people. But not
Oh, look,
good.
what a surprise. Elon Musk's a hypocrite.
And then basically news journalists who were covering this fiasco of shitty doxing news were getting banned because they were apparently doxing Elon Musk for covering the news on the... But Elon Musk said it's okay to use the data as long as it's not up to date, because then it's not doxing. Also, Elon Musk doesn't know what doxing is, because doxing is the location of your house. Essentially, because it is a fixed location where you are. Whereas being at an airport, one of the most secure places in the world, because of 9/11, where everyone's like, we're not going to let that happen again. Also, it's just tracking the location of where he is. It's not tracking the car. So you don't know what car he's in. What probably happened is that it was probably a journalist or a TMZ sort of style person who just saw that Elon Musk's kid was in, or his, I think Grimes, or one of his wives, ex-wives or ex-partners who owned the, like, I said owned, like had the, is the mother of the child, was spotted, and they were like, "Ooh, Elon Musk's in the news. Let's follow this person and get some snapshots of whatnot." But yeah, the whole situation's fucked. He basically, I didn't even know this existed, but apparently Twitter has a video chat function called Spaces. Right. And so basically someone got a whole group of people, like journalists, who were banned because apparently, because of how broken Twitter is, if your account's banned, you can still do Spaces. So you can still publicly talk on Spaces. Even though your account's banned. So they just got a bunch of those journalists in a thing. Elon Musk crashed it and tried to defend himself. Lasted 3 minutes against journalists asking questions about why his policies don't make sense. And then rage quit. And then like 10 minutes later shut the whole entire Spaces function down. So no one could use it. Yeah, it's just Elon Musk shouting free speech but not knowing what free speech is, or doxing, apparently.
Yes, and it seems like this is catching up with him now because he's now getting booed on live stage.
Oh, this happened before. So basically, he got booed. Basically, Dave Chappelle, who is a controversial comic because he's like against like LGBTQ, like he makes jokes about it and stuff like that.
Right.
Like Ricky Gervais.
Okay, well I like Ricky Gervais.
Like one of those like
American.
yeah, like one of those the side that Elon Musk likes, Donald Trump's side, basically, not left, not left, the right wing.
The right wing, yeah.
Yeah, he's more right wing than left wing.
I don't know about Ricky Gervais. I think he's just like taking the piss out of everything.
Yeah, that's the same thing as Dave Chappelle. It's just like everyone should be be made fun of.
There is no limits.
Yeah. So a very leftist, a very rightish crowd, basically, which Elon Musk is now associating himself with. But he got booed on stage and then shouted, "I am rich."
Oh, really?
And they started trying to blare music over the booing. There's a video of it. It's funny to watch. And so probably what's happened is Elon Musk got butthurt that no one likes him in real life, and Twitter is the only place people seem to like him, but people still hate him on Twitter now because he's ruining Twitter. So he's just going power hungry. Also, he sold 3.5 billion shares of Tesla stock.
Yeah.
Also, I think one of the highest the third highest shareholder is calling for like Elon Musk to step down from Tesla, for a vote of no confidence, because no one is running Tesla at the moment. Because Elon Musk is just spending all his time focused on Twitter.
It's so weird.
It's going well for him.
Yeah, Tesla's
also
orders,
Twitter
like,
Blue
right down,
relaunched. Twitter Blue relaunched. So now you get a yellow verification badge. And then any of the legacy accounts now have a passive-aggressive message that's basically, this account may or may not be notable.
Right. I swear I saw some Twitter red ticks as well.
That might be fake. I think it's yellow. Yellow is if you're a business account, I think. So we need to get our TFE account paid for, Dan. And then if you're paying for, anyone else.
You've now got Twitter gold, grey, and blue ticks.
Sick.
So useful.
What was the thing I was going to talk about with Tesla? Was it Tesla? Oh, I can't remember. Maybe I should have just spoken about it when I remembered. Oh, well. There was something about Elon Musk.
So apparently, gold ticks are for brands, blue ticks are for people, and grey ticks are for other companies, I think.
I have no idea.
It
But
was
you can
fine.
still tell when people have paid for it. So,
Blue ticks was fine.
yeah. Also, why not make the companies blue so that everyone knows it's the verified one, because that's what people know.
Well, they all got
And then
ticks.
the yellow one, the one that is people who have paid for it, so that you know. But then Elon Musk is going to not do that because he wants to make
No,
it
so
more
the blue tick is the one you got paid for.
No. There's legacy ones that if you were already verified, you're
No, I was
still
looking on
blue.
here.
But you
Blue
can,
ticks.
yeah. But the blue one is the pay for. Yeah.
Yeah, the blue tick's the pay for one. The gold ticks.
Yeah, but
are
there's
the
also
actual-
people who haven't paid for it, but they're legacy because they already had the blue tick.
Yes.
But now brands are yellow, which is going to confuse people because people know that brands are blue if they're verified. So all you have to do is still make the McDonald's one with a blue check mark, and people who don't follow all the controversy around Twitter's stupid new changes will still believe the fucking blue check mark. It's dumb.
I do love some of these tweets people put out about this. Like the actual companies, like Specsavers put out, "Our blue tick has now turned gold. We'd like to thank the mums and dads everywhere who helped us get here. Thanks for everything. This is for you." It's so stupid. Everyone's just taking the piss out of it.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Honestly, this timeline's amazing. This is what we should do for Christmas special. We should have done this. Just go with the timeline of Elon Musk.
Look, we can do that next year because I'm sure Elon Musk will still be in the news.
Oh dear, I want to keep. Anyway, let's move on into tech time and science shenanigans. And the Artemis moonship, which we talked about a few weeks ago, has returned to Earth with picture-perfect Pacific Ocean splashdown.
Yay! We've actually managed to do something.
Yes, although I don't believe this actually went onto the moon, it just went around the moon.
No, this was around the moon, and then the next one is with people in it going around the moon. And then the one for 2025 is the one which is meant to land on the moon with people.
I thought it was meant to land on the moon without people, and then...
No, there's one where it's going to have people... This was the one where it's basically goes around... Maybe there is one in between where it's land without people, but I'm sure it would just be with people. I mean, it's just test if it can go around the moon with people, then it will be land with people, I think. There might be one without, I'm not sure. But we're going to the moon again.
Yes, and it may be useful for our fusion reactors, since there's now been a huge step forward, and
yes, you can explain this.
We finally got net positive energy out of them. Not a lot.
Explain what that means for people who don't know.
For those who don't know, a fusion reactor is the next gen golden, or the holy grail of clean energy. However,
because we currently have fission reactions.
We have fission reactors, which uses plutonium and uranium to split particles and releases an immense amount of energy. This also is very dangerous, and why sort of things like Chernobyl and nuclear bombs exist. They all use fission. But fusion reactors are the same as stars, which then compresses atoms and then makes a new element, and that also releases even more energy. However, in stars and like massive gas giants, they cheat because their ginormous size means they have huge amounts of pressure in the middle of it, which causes it to happen. Whereas on Earth, we have to find our own ways of doing it. Our own ways at the minute has been heat, and when they're turned on, it's the hottest place in the known universe. But that puts so much energy in to get not enough out, but we finally managed to get positive with a new machine. I'm trying to think who was doing this one. There's actually now over 30 companies all doing fusion reactors.
Sorry, I'm just adding a new news that I remembered about.
That's absolutely fine. I'm trying to remember which company it is that's done this one.
Oh, one of them.
Because for some reason this article talks about this, but it doesn't actually say which company it was. I think it was Canada's General Fusion. I think that's the company that did it.
Is that what the... Forgive my ignorance. Is that what the Large Hadron Collider is doing, or is that different?
Large Hadron Collider is more of a science thing of experimenting what happens when you collide.
Throw shit really, really fast into each other.
Yes. It's more about breaking them apart rather than making new ones. That's how the Higgs boson particle was discovered, because it sort of came out of that.
Two things really, really quickly into each other.
Yeah, and they were like, oh, there's these other particles that exist. These aren't elements, they're just other particles.
And speaking of things that we didn't know existed, alien minerals never found on Earth identified in rock meteor thing.
This article is unavailable.
Oh, great. Okay. Cool. I will redo that. History. Oh, fuck's sake. Alien space rocks. News. Nope, that's video. That's news. New materials. At least 2 minerals discovered in meteor crash site in Somalia. I will copy and paste that so you can actually read it. There you go. The El Ale meteor is about 6.6 feet long, 4.3 feet tall, and 3.3 feet wide. It weighs over 16.8 tons, or over 33,000 pounds, making it the 9th largest meteor ever discovered. A 70-gram slice of the meteor was sent to researchers at University of Alberta, and another piece was sent to the researchers at UCLA for classification based on what it was made of. Researchers determined that the Ela Alai meteor was primarily made of mineral iron. During this process, a professor in the Department of Earth and Atmospheric Sciences at the University of Alberta, Chris Hurd, discovered some unknown minerals in the meteorite as well.
So I don't think this is new atoms. I think it's just different compounds of atoms.
I never said atoms, did I?
No, I'm just explaining.
Yeah, it's just new minerals. So stuff that we've not seen before. So Elalite has been named one of them. And Ilkenstanstonite after... And another is another name. Butchered that.
Tanonite.
Also, apparently maybe a third mineral may have been found, but it's currently being reviewed by a committee.
Alkin's Tanonite. I don't even know. There's too many syllables in that word.
Yeah, but it's just cool. We're getting new shit.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Our understanding of the universe is growing.
Yeah. And from outer space to right here in the world, as Google has revealed what is the most trending search terms in 2022.
Wordle.
Everyone loves a bit of Wordle.
Number one searches of Wordle.
And
India versus England. Ukraine. Queen Elizabeth. India versus SA.
I reckon the Wordle was just for everyone trying to figure out what Wordle is.
People. Johnny Depp. Will Smith. Amber Heard. Vladimir Putin. Chris Rock.
Yeah, that makes sense. I remember a lot of those people. For what news this year?
Movies. Thor Love and Thunder. Black Adam. Top Gun Maverick. The Batman. Enchanto.
Yeah, that makes sense.
TV shows. Euphoria. House of the Dragon. Moon Knight. The Watcher. Inventing Anna.
I was a bit surprised about this one.
Which is?
Well, I didn't think Moon Knight would be up there so high.
Yeah, I'm interested. I guess Marvel's power really does... I mean, it was good.
I don't think people would care about it that much.
I like the fact that Black Adam was number 2. But
yeah,
no one saw it. Sports terms, World Cup, Olympic medal count, Flames, Olympics, CFL scores.
It's amazing how, Avatar's not up there.
Oh, this is interesting. You know how you can now hum a tune and Google will try and determine the song?
Well, yes, if you can actually hum in tune, yes.
Yeah. So Enemy by Imagine Dragons is number 5. Heatwave's Glass Animals. Chandbalanya. Adita A, Butter, BTS, and Pasori Ali Sefi were the top hum searches.
I forgot about Butter BTS.
They're in the military now.
Who, BTS?
Yeah.
What,
military service in South Korea is mandatory.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have to now serve 4 years in the military.
Oh, wow, so no music by them for the next 4 years.
No, yeah. Well, because it's military service is mandatory. I think they managed to dodge it for a bit because of the pop career, but they have to do it after a certain time. So, but they're happy to do it. Yeah, it's crazy. Passings was Queen Elizabeth, Betty White, Anna Hecky, Bob Saget, and Aaron Carter. It's just interesting to see all the stuff that people were interested in.
A lot has happened this year, you know.
Yeah, I'm surprised Elon Musk wasn't in People, but I guess it's the cutoff point was maybe a month ago.
Maybe, I don't know.
But yeah, and then in the last bits of news, we got some mobile phone stuff.
Yeah, Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra specs have leaked.
I mean, it looks good.
Are you going to get it? Of course not.
No, I have to wait 3 years now because I'm stuck with this lovely phone that I actually do love. Honestly, the Fold is the best thing that I've ever owned. Like, the phone I've ever owned. So it will have a 6.8-inch AMOLED screen, Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, 8GB or 12GB of RAM, the standard storage of 556GB or 512GB or 1TB, a 200 milliamp main camera, 12 megapixel ultra wide.
Sorry, what? Is there something about a 200 milliamp main camera?
Megapixel.
Yeah, okay. I was confused. I was like, what? Oh, yes, we can now provide power from our cameras.
Shush. 10 megapixel telephoto 3x zoom, 10 megapixel telephoto 10 times zoom. I love how they got rid of the 100 times zoom because no one fucking cared.
No, that is 100 times zoom.
No, it's 10 times zoom.
No, it's 10 times optical zoom.
Oh, okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
And a 12 megapixel front-facing camera, 5,000 milliamp hour battery.
Yeah.
And then 6.4 times 3.1 times 0.35 inches and 8.2 ounces.
It's basically the same as all the other ones.
It's a phone. Yeah. But the camera doesn't stick out. It's no longer sticky out. It's actually, I think from the picture, it's like flat now.
Isn't that
which is the most annoying thing ever? Huh?
Isn't that the same as isn't that just the S22?
No, the S22 Ultra still sticks out, I'm fairly sure.
No, it doesn't. That is the S20. It is the S22 Ultra.
Is it? I have no fucking clue.
Yeah,
I
it
haven't
is.
paid attention.
That's literally the exact same cam. Unless they've got the exact same camera layout, which they might. That is the S22
Well,
Ultra.
this might be the yeah. Look, honestly, I don't know. I never pay attention to the cameras because I don't take photos, so I don't give a shit. I just hate the fact that they stick out.
The rumor is the S23 Ultra may have square sides, but may have the same layout.
Square sides?
Yeah, same as iPhone.
Not rounded edges.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
For some reason, I don't know why. Why would you want that?
Who knows? Motorola is also making phones, and they're maybe doing a Think phone.
Ooh.
Which is, yeah, so based off their like ThinkPad laptop series, they might be doing a phone with
It's
the
going to be
Think
more based on, I suppose, actual using it? Like actual usability?
Carbon fiber style of Lenovo's laptop looks like it's heading to Motorola's phones. 6.6-inch OLED display, capable of 144 Hz and HDR, a front-facing 32 megapixel camera, a triple camera array at the rear with a 50 megapixel main camera, 13 times megapixel ultra wide and 2 times megapixel depth sensors. So it looks good.
Yeah, the thing is, these are all exactly the same.
Oh, so so this one would have a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 chip inside with 8 gig or 12 gig of RAM and up to 512 gigabytes of storage. So yeah, the Samsung is getting the latest Snapdragon processor, whereas this would have last gen. But yeah, so I mean, it looks interesting.
Moving on to some
their
actual
laptops.
Yeah, but let's move on to some actual interesting phone news, which is the Google...
My competitor.
Your competitor. Well, arguably not really, but the Pixel Fold, because
yes,
Google's partnered
the
with
long-rumored
Samsung.
Pixel Fold has leaked. It looks chunky in
it
terms
looks
of like
big.
width.
Like, why is a front display so big?
Because I think what they're doing is that's probably a standard size for a big phone. Because the thing is, this phone, the Fold, is slimmer.
It is, yeah.
So I think that is probably, the size-wise is probably more along the lines of what most big phones are. I think it's the same as the Oppo one. The Oppo one is wider and they're slightly shorter. So they're not as tall, whereas this one's taller but skinnier. So that But I think that's probably because Google's maybe doing it for video, maybe. So it looks, because the problem with this is there's a lot of black bar when you have a folder with the ultra wide or standard, because that's not how video formats work. So I think that's their way of making it so it's more square like, so the video fits better.
Maybe, possibly.
The device will roughly be 158.7 times 139.7 times 5.7 millimeters. For comparison, the Z Fold 4 is 155.1 times 130.1 times 6.3 mm. So it would be bigger slightly than the Samsung one. But yeah, it looks not bad, to be honest. It looks like a Pixel phone, but just
I'm not a fan
bigger.
Personally, but
I don't like the camera sticking out.
yeah, look, it just looks really out of place. Like everything here, and even like the sides of the display, it doesn't just quite look right because you've got like a bit of a corner going on.
It
the top
looks
left.
Apple-like. I'll give it.
Does it? The
Because
hinge also is questionable on this. This is also just a render.
Yeah, this is a render. This is just like rumored. This could be completely different to what it actually looks like. It would also be powered by Google's Tensor G2 chip. Don't know how good that is.
Yeah, it's just no capacitor. They're their own ones, but I think the idea behind it is that they may be able to make it more optimized, similar to Apple.
Yeah,
products.
because that would be the thing, is that because the Samsung is working with Google to make the software for foldable phones, which I think is probably one of the reasons why Apple hasn't done a foldable phone yet, because it would mean Apple would actually have to make software to run a foldable phone.
Well, I imagine
Or
they'll just
with-
use iPad OS.
Maybe.
iPad OS is already a port over from iPhones. It's literally just slightly modified. It's gonna be just use iPad OS.
But I think you still have to make it so that it would, because I imagine there's a lot of detailing that you need to figure out with
Well,
folding
what's the difference
phones.
between an iPad and a Fold?
The folding bit.
Well, yeah, I suppose maybe
Because
that,
I think it's more the software between the changes rather.
Oh, the
than
changes, yeah, I could say. But
Yeah,
it's already
the
open,
software
it's
to
not-
change it, not the display bit. Because otherwise, I don't think Samsung would have had to change the entire way their.
Well, Android's had to
thing
make a new form of Android.
Yeah,
They had to release Android 12 out, and Android 13 has.
yeah, that's what I
foldable.
mean. And Samsung worked with Google to make that.
For example, my
then-
tablet still doesn't have Android 12 out, so it's running Windows Android. I'll show it.
Show me, great. Show the audience, Dan.
Wow.
On a
You can help explain it what it's like.
okay, Dan. Let
But,
me.
like, if I scroll down like the side menu, it clearly looks like a phone, like side screen.
Yes, yeah.
Whereas it's meant to be like all over, but it's not.
It's meant to drag down from the top and be spread across, but
Yeah,
all
but it's just like
down
on the side of this side of it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's blatantly obvious in sort of like the actual.
Software side.
Yeah, well, the Android thing. So do you know when you do your Android version and you tap to go to 12, it's like it blatantly doesn't. It doesn't go through the whole screen. There's like a portion
Yeah.
of it that's just like missing.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Google's phone. Hopefully, it will be around next year. Probably August is normally when Google releases their phones.
Yeah, and to be fair, the Google phones are actually pretty decent for like the
Yeah.
actual price to performance.
Yeah, price to performance. I know people with one, and they seem to like them.
I actually would go for one.
I
If
said
next
if Google managed to get their phone out before the S4, the Fold 4, I would have probably maybe considered getting the Fold that Google made. But it was just that Google hasn't released it yet, so
Yeah, it's a bit.
I
of
might
a-
switch. I'm keeping with the folding phone, so it's just between who makes the best one, and then I'm going to switch to that after 3 years once I've paid off this one.
And then,
And then
yeah.
in the last bit of news,
As you mentioned
think
earlier,
we-
Apple's
yeah.
going to have third-party app stores.
yeah, because the EU is stepping in and basically going, look,
You've got a monopoly on your own phone. You can't have this.
yeah, we saw what happened with Epic versus Apple. We're
Yeah,
gonna
and it makes sense really to say it like I know technically no, but the thing is you do own the hardware, so you should be allowed to have
Whatever
what software
you
you
want
want
to.
on your hardware.
yeah. It's like a Steam Deck. It's just Steam doesn't care as long as you're buying Steam stuff.
Most Android devices don't care. You can very easily do whatever you want on an Android device. It's not
Yeah.
hard to do. All you have to do is
No.
enable developer options, which is already baked inside, and you can do anything.
Yeah.
But Apple was like, no. You cannot do this. It is. It's
They say
simply-
it's a security thing, but it's also just
well,
to keep
it
people.
is, but it's not.
It's also just to keep people in their ecosystem on their platform paying for their own thing. The same thing what Microsoft wants.
Yeah.
It's why Game Pass does it's why Microsoft is pushing Game Pass because it keeps
it's
people
every
in your
company does that, right?
Yeah,
They
every
try to
company
make it
does it.
so you
Samsung
say-
does it. Microsoft does it. Sony does it. Every tech company does it because they need people to stay on their platform and pay money and not go through someone else if they want to pay it. It's why Amazon keeps people paying on Amazon. Like, they just want you to keep staying on the platform so you pay money through the platform because it's easier than going through a third-party thing because Apple makes it difficult or Sony makes it difficult. It's the same reason why you have to buy a Thunderbolt cable. It's so that you can't buy it anywhere else other than Apple. And if you buy a third-party one, it's always shit and dodgy.
But yeah, I think that's it for...
That sounded good. Someone revved their engine and then a bunch of ice cracked. So
I think that's it picked up. For news. Go on to recommend, do you recommend, don't? What have you done this week you recommend?
I watched Avatar 2.
You don't recommend it?
I trekked through like 40 minutes of cold. Really fucked up my legs because walking on ice is difficult. And,
it is, yes, yeah.
Really hurts your shins and your leg muscles after a while because you're just constantly trying to balance. And spent 3 hours and 10 minutes, and I will save my thoughts for it when we do our review.
Yeah, hopefully this week. Which I might actually leave the house.
Yes, spend 6 hours in the cinema watching both Black Panther 2 and Avatar 2.
Yeah.
Both movies with blue people underwater. Best movies.
Best movies.
Well, only one of them is probably.
And I've done nothing this week. Yeah, that sums it up.
But yeah, we'll be back in the new year. Don't know when yet, but we will be back.
Yeah.
This is the last TFE. We'll still be doing TBOs.
I imagine the next episode will not be out now until the 9th of January.
Midway through January?
I'd say about 9th. 9th or 10th, depending on actually when I release it. We're probably going to change the upload day.
And some of the formatting and some of the stuff. We might be doing live streams in the new year.
Yes, that might be happening. We will stop plugging that at some point.
Yes. But yeah, thank you for listening. It's been a weird year. Somehow we've managed to keep going through mostly us being absent and doing other things in our lives.
Yeah, and here's to a better next year. Things that's difficult though, right? With news, because it's so relevant, and you can't just pre-record things.
No, but hey, look, we might be dropping TBO off this timeline and doing a separate timeline, or just on the streams. Who knows? But yeah, we'll keep you covered. Follow our Twitter. We might be posting on that if it hasn't crashed and burned yet.
we want that gold tick. That's what we want.
Yeah. Once again, thank you for listening, and we appreciate it, and we'll see you in the new year. Goodbye.
Peace out, homies.
Keep an eye out for TBOs. They're still coming. Bye.
Bye-bye.